success and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Princess Uche and we are currently in our Back to Basics series where we're doing makeup, hair, fashion, and fake. We're going back to the fundamentals, back to the basics, and this is perfect for if you're going back to school. It's also perfect if you're just trying to become the best version of yourself, elevate your style, elevate your makeup, and just learn the basics of what it takes to take yourself from basic to fabulous. Does it even make sense? So from start to finish, I'm going to walk you through the entire process of this makeup look. These products are all $15 or less. They're all affordable, and this is truly a beginner-friendly makeup tutorial. Brushes today, I focused on blending techniques, I focused on placement, so we're really going to get into what it takes to really truly achieve this look.
Okay guys, let's get into the makeup. So you want to start off with freshly moisturized skin. Skin prep is so important. I always go in with sunscreen right before I do my makeup. Honestly, I wear sunscreen every single day. You should too if you're not. Once I go in, this is a Korean sunscreen and it's been really helping my skin. Then I go in with primer. So primer is the base of your makeup. It's going to help all that makeup stick to your skin better. So I go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer first around the areas of my face. It doesn't really have pores, which is usually the outer parts of my face. And then I tap that in once it starts to get a little tacky. And then I go in with the e.l.f. Putty Primer, and this I use for the pores areas of my face, which is usually around my T-zone area, mostly around my nose. And this primer helps to kind of give you like a smooth, even base to start your makeup off with, and then it fills in all your pores, so it's just kind of even. Next, we're going in with the Matte and Poreless Foundation from Maybelline. This is a staple foundation. This is great for beginners. It's easy to blend. So I like to go in with a tiny brush and kind of spread that across my face. I find that this helps with also controlling how much product I'm using and placement as well. So I make sure to put that in very thin layers and spread that all across my face using a really small brush. This also helps with not wasting your product, because with makeup you always want to make sure you're being efficient and sustainable. Then I go in with a dense brush. So what that means is a brush that has a lot of very thick bristles but it's still soft, and that way you can really make sure that your foundation is blending evenly across your entire face. So I'm just gonna go right in. So right now as you're watching, you're probably thinking my foundation doesn't match, but one thing a lot of people forget with foundations is your foundation shade is not the shade it is once you first apply it. It's the shade it is once it dries. And this specific foundation tends to dry a little bit darker once it oxidizes. So that's what you're going to see in a couple minutes. But once your foundation is evenly across your face, you want to make sure to get your neckline, your jawline, your hairline, your ears even, because when you take pictures with flash, oh, the embarrassment is kind of crazy. I can't lie. Now we're going in with the NYX Can't Stop One Step Concealer. This concealer is great. It's super high coverage. The consistency is beautiful. So I'm going right under my eyes. I try not to get too close to my eye because my eye creases. And if you struggle with that problem, it's better to just bring it down just a little bit lower under your eye. Once I apply that, I make sure to apply it in a very smooth and even layer, so that way it makes blending so much easier. I put it on my chin, and basically what this is called highlighting. So you're basically highlighting the spots of your face that are a lot brighter than the rest of your face to give your face more dimension. This is usually where the light will hit your face. Look up placement charts for highlight and contour to see what best fits your face. If you have a round face, if you have a more diamonds face. Since we all have so many different face shapes and structures, it is important to kind of look up what matches your face the best. I like my face to look snatched, so that's why I put my concealer a little bit on the outer corner of my eyes as well. Now I'm going in with the black opal foundation sticks. These make for a really good contour shade. So I actually mixed two different shades, honestly. So I mix a shade that's more deeper, a little bit more red, and then I mix a shade that is also closer to my skin tone. Once I mix those two together, they give me the perfect contour shade. And for a contour brush, you want a brush that's a little bit slanted and a brush that's really dense, so that way you can really focus on placing it right exactly where you want it. So I mix that together and I warm it up on my hand. Warming up your contour makes it show up a lot better on your face, and it makes it easier to blend. So I'm putting it right on my jawline, a little bit lower. Like I said, placement really depends on your face. I like my face to be snatched, so I keep my contour pretty high as well because I want everything on my face to be elevated. That's why we're going in this diagonal slanted look for my contour. I also focus on my temples, which is my area right there on my forehead. And you want to just tap when you're blending. So with blending, you don't want to move the product around too much, especially with contour. You want to place it exactly right where you want it, the jawline area. So just tapping, and be really gentle with contour, because the more contour you put on your face, the harsher your makeup tends to look. So if you're truly going for a soft look, please be gentle with the contour. Do not go heavy, and you can always build up more and more as you go. Another silly tip is to actually suck in your face and see if you place your contour where those lines kind of cave in when you do that, and that actually helps me a lot. Next is blending out our concealer. So by now our concealer should be dry. Not too dry, it should still be able to blend, but it's at a consistency now where it's sat on your face long enough to be a little bit dry. You want to go in with a concealer brush that's soft but still a little bit dense, meaning that like it's gonna tap on the product but also move it a little bit. So you want to go and just really tap out the edges of your concealer. You never really want to disrupt what you've already laid down, so tapping out the ends and then dragging that out really high. I'm taking it up that high because I like a really snatched look. And then you want to buff that out with your contour brush, so that way you don't have any harsh lines. And harsh lines is honestly means just wherever you can see the obvious like demarcation. And when you are blending your concealer, you want to have a mirror really close up to your face so you can see exactly what you're blending and exactly what you're doing. And you also want to really start off on those edges. That is so important because it helps with a more even and smooth transition from the concealer to the foundation. And especially when you're blending out those edges on the side, you want to go light, and you don't want to move that concealer around too much because then you're going to have a lot more that you have to blend out. So blend in the spots where you place your concealer down and go back in with your contour brush to kind of buff that out and blend it back. Concealer is a really fun part of makeup, and dare I say, this is the part of makeup that really makes it look like your makeup is done. You want to blend out your nose contour as well, just lightly tapping down the bridge of your nose, and then go ahead with your forehead and kind of just buff that out right up into your forehead and down, so that way it can kind of distribute in a circular motion. And then just keep blending. Blending does take a while, but blending is very important in assuring that your makeup looks seamless, because if your makeup is not blended, it's going to end up looking patchy, especially once you put your powder. Guys, now that all of that is blended, we're actually going to go in with one more concealer. This is the Juvia's Place As I Am concealer. The shade is a lot brighter. I like to use two concealers, one shade that is just a little bit more bright right under my eye, and I don't let that sit. So you want to just kind of blend that out immediately, so that way it doesn't have a lot of coverage. It's really just more for the color and adding just a little bit more brightness to under your eye. If you don't like a super bright under eye, you don't have to do this. You can completely skip this step, but I personally like to do this. I feel like it just adds a little bit more to my makeup. But please note that if you're doing a super bright under eye, it is harder to blend. So make sure you're bringing it down all the way to your lip, and make sure you're really blending that in, because if you don't, it is going to look so harsh and it's going to look so obvious that that shade is not meant to be on your face. Okay, now it's time for blush. Blush is honestly my favorite part. I love me some blush. So we're using the NYX Sweet Cheeks blush and the e.l.f. Camo liquid blush. I love mixing blushes. Blushes is honestly one of those things where you kind of get to just play around with your makeup and customize it to what you like. Today I was feeling like doing a really pink soft blush look, and you want to place your blush right above your contour in a high position. And then you want to go in with a soft brush. You don't want to go in with anything that's super dense because it will mess up your concealer underneath. So you want to go in with a really soft brush, and then just gently, like a fairy, just go ahead and lightly tap that blush in. If you're working with a liquid blush, it is supposed to be easy to blend, so it should not require a lot of heavy patting to blend that in. So just gently in a circular motion, just keep going up and down until you get to a shade or you get to a look that you like. I like my blush to show up, so I don't blend it in too much, but if you want a more natural look, you can keep blending until your blush kind of just fades away. Now with makeup, sometimes you have to go back in with a little bit more concealer. I really do struggle with creasing, and that's a natural thing. Honestly, it's genetics. My sister does too. So once you notice like you're creasing, just add a little bit more concealer just to kind of dab into those spots. But if you don't have those problems, lucky you. Now I'm going to go in with the Makeup Revolution Super Matte Fix. I don't know why this thing is upside down. But before you put powder, you want to make sure that your under eye is super blended. There's no creasing. There's nothing that's like budging up. If anything looks out of whack, please fix it before you go ahead with your powder. Now with powders, I love to mix the Maybelline Fit Me, just a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me loose setting powder. You can choose either the shade 20 or 25 based on your skin tone. And then I mix that in with the Makeup Revolution Super Matte Fix. Then I go in with a powder puff, and you want to make sure your powder puff is coated evenly with the powder first. Dab all the excess off on your hand, look up, and then pat into your concealer. You want to pat starting from the center and working your way outwards, because that way, that's the way that you blended your concealer, so that's the way you're gonna pat your concealer. And I want you to notice the difference between when your concealer is set and when it's not set. This powder is actually so fine and so beautiful. It's super blurring, and I can't believe this thing is $8. I know there are a lot of super high-end and expensive powders, but honestly, when you find a good powder and you have the right techniques and a powder puff, you will look airbrushed just like everybody else. Another thing I really love about this powder, it's really a super matte fix. So especially for the summertime or school where you're going to be going through long hours, this powder will really get you right. I also put the powder right under my jawline. You don't have to do this if you don't want a contoured face, but I love a good contoured face, so just put that right under so it can kind of accentuate your jawline a little bit. Then I like to go back in and just make sure that all my creases are super patted in, so that way my under eye does not crease. And then just buff out that powder. There will be a little bit of harsh lines when you do that right under your jawline, so it's important to make sure that you just go back in and blend that out as much as you possibly can. The next step is very crucial. You want to go in with a powder that matches your skin tone. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Powder. It kind of goes hand in hand with the foundation in my opinion. So if you're going to get the foundation, definitely get the powder too. But you want to take a pressed powder, and a pressed powder will kind of just help give you a blurring effect. It will make your makeup even out completely, especially when it's the shade that's your skin tone. So you want to just go over that over your entire face, and now you can kind of see, okay, I'm feeling myself, my makeup is going to turn out really good. I'm so excited. But right now I'm looking a bit ghostly, you know. I've lost a lot of color in my face. I've lost a lot of dimension. So now we want to go back in with the dry version of our wet contour. So this is a Juvia's Place bronzer in the shade dark. Oh no, this was deep dark. And then you want to go in with an angled brush for your contour. And then you just want to go in. This powder palette is so beat up, guys. I love this contour so much. And you want to go in right where you placed your contour originally, or your bronzer when we did the foundation sticks, and those spots are right at your jawline, your temples of your head. This is going to bring all that warmth back into your face. It's going to bring more dimension back into your face, which basically means your face is not going to look flat and one-dimensional, because I did not used to contour my face or use bronzer for years. I was walking around in college looking ghostly and nobody told me nothing. I'm sorry, I got carried away. So now you want to go in with a small brush that's easy to use and be precise. And then you go in with your bronzer right where your eyes meet your nose. That's where you want to start off and kind of just build up. And then you want to blend that bronzer up into your eyelids and then bring it down. And this is how we're going to softly contour our nose. There are different ways to contour your nose, but this is the soft way. And then if you want to find that line, just place your brush right where your eyebrows start, and that is where the line of your contour should be. This is kind of where you get to customize how contoured you want your face to look. I like a soft contour, but it's honestly up to you how you want it to look. And then I like to put my bronzer on my eyelids just so my eyelids don't look bare or naked. And this also helps with your overall face just looking more blended. Now with brows, I like a soft brow, so all I do is I really just go in with a eyebrow pencil and fill in the tail of my brow. And then I go in with the concealer that we used first, which was the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. And I just use that to carve out the bottom of my brows. I like to keep my brows done. So honestly, this is a very easy step if your brows are already plucked or done or shaped in some way. You kind of just want to put that concealer and drag it down and just do gentle motions, quick gentle motions, however, and then just drag that down into your eyelids and repeat that on the other eye. So going slowly with a flat brush. Honestly, this is a lot easier when you have the right brush. So you need a flat brush that's wide but not too wide. Honestly, if you can find a brush that's exactly like this, then that would be perfect. I've had this brush for probably 3.5 years now, and if I can find where I got it, I will link it down below. I think I got it from Amazon actually. Then you just want to buff out any harsh lines, edges with either your concealer brush or your powder. Now it's time for the best part of your makeup. It's going to be blush. So this is a duo blush that I got from my beauty supply a long time ago, but she's still going strong. I like to place my blush really high on my cheekbones. I was blessed with these gorgeous Nigerian cheekbones, and the blush really just accentuates it. I love this pink color. It's perfect for every day. It's not too harsh. It's very approachable shade of blush. And when blending your brush, you want a medium-sized brush that is soft, and you just want to do it in circular motions until you're pleased with your blush, honestly. But let's not go too crazy on the blush, you guys. I think blush brightness is a real thing. Now I'm going in with the Ruby Kisses lip liner. I also like to use 2 lip liners. I use one in the shade dark brown and one in the shade brown. There's a lot of different lip combos you can do, but this is honestly my go-to for right now. So I start off with the dark brown and I just outline my lips, my gorgeous, gorgeous, perfect lips. And then I go in with the brown shade on top of it because I honestly like my lips to have a little bit more of like an auburn color to the outline. But like I said, with things like this, you can really customize it to yourself, customize it to your skin tone. You want to find a liner that really shows up on your skin well and complements your skin tone. And once you're done with your liner, go in with a gloss. This, like I said, is just a combo that I've been reaching for right now, but I'm going in with the NYX Butter Gloss on top of it. And I did want to say that when you're doing your lip combo, you want to make sure that there's no product on your lip whatsoever. So that's why I had to clean off everything in the beginning. But I'm going in with the NYX Butter Gloss just all over my lips, and I'm blending it in with the lip liner so that way it can look even and it can transition well into each other. Now this step I cannot skip, and if you really want your makeup look to elevate, go in with a dark black liner. This looks good on literally everybody. I don't care who you are. This will make your makeup look 10 times better. It makes such a difference. It makes your eyes look so pretty and so sultry, yet it's not overpowering at all. So once I do that, that means my makeup is basically almost done. At this point, you really want to evaluate and make sure that your makeup looks exactly how you want it to before you go in with your setting spray. So this is the Super Fix Super Hold Misting Spray from Makeup Revolution. I love this spray. It has a matte finish, and right now it's one of my favorite setting sprays, especially for the price. So I just spray that, you know, a little bit far of a distance. I like to go a little bit heavy with my setting spray because honestly, setting spray I feel makes my makeup look more like skin and more real. So I spray that and I honestly just let that dry down. So while my makeup is drying down and my setting spray is doing its job, I go in and I put my jewelry, and this is usually when I'll get ready, put on some body oil, put on my perfumes and things like that. And then by the time I'm done with all of that, my face will be dry. But if you don't have time for the dry down, you can just easily grab a fan and just fan your face. But I lost my fan. I don't know where that darn fan is. But I'm going in with my earrings. Guys, I got these earrings on Amazon. Aren't they so cute? They came in a set, and one of them is like a Bottega dupe. And honestly, I'm gonna link them down below as well, just in case, because these earrings are so freaking cute. And about 20 to 25 minutes later, your makeup should be ready and looking flawless. And I just love that these drugstore products are able to give me the exact same look that I would get if I was using my high-end products. So if you're a beginner starting off with makeup, please start off easy, start off slow. Building your makeup collection can get really expensive, and I really hope that this makeup tutorial was super educational. I hope that there weren't any confusing steps, but if you do have any questions, just please ask me down in the comment section below. I love you guys so much.
Honestly, a universal makeup look, and there's just a little tweaks you can make to make it look a little bit less glam, like your lip or your blush. But other than that, I think once you learn a staple glam look, you're good to go. So of course, if this video helped you, make sure you give it a thumbs up, click that like button, okay? And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hello. So I will be back on Wednesday with another back to basics, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
This is our I did my makeup at 9 a.m. It is now 8 p.m. I touched up my lip. That was literally the only thing I touched up. But when I tell you guys that powder and that setting spray will have you good all day, I'm not even lying. This is my makeup at 8:11 p.m. in the heat of Dallas, Texas. I did a lot today. I ran errands. I went out. I'm out right now in Dallas. I'm about to go home. But I just wanted to show you guys a little makeup update with all the products. As you can see, she's going strong. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Mwah.